Growing up on a cattle ranch, maintaining fences and making sure all of the livestock were in their proper pastures and not in the road, or worse, the neighbor's field, was an essential part of every day. Fence building was seldom a fun experience, but my grandfather made a point to remind me of the importance of diligence, vigilance, and maintenance to keep our fences strong. Many of the brilliant men who were the framers of our Constitution were also farmers and plantation owners and understood this very same fence concept. Being great scholars and wise men, our founding fathers understood that the fences required to keep our republic strong required constant upkeep. They also understood human nature and that greed and ambition would make men much like a stubborn cow searching for greener pastures. Those men would knock down and tear through fences originally designed to contain and protect in search of their own selfish desires. Within our Constitution, there are fences, and like the fences on my grandfather's ranch, they are composed of both vertical and horizontal supports, posts, and wires. Vertical posts in our government are the principles of liberty, mutually agreed upon by our founding fathers, so as to create a firm foundation for freedom. In essence, these principles are a belief in natural law, a moral people, a republican form of government, and a strong local self-government. Horizontal supports, the wires, provide flexibility and continuity, yet keep each branch or level separate in their own way. As we know it today, the separation of powers. At certain lengths along the fence row, my family would have to build an H-brace. An H-brace is two vertical posts set apart with a horizontal post reaching in between them for support. Wire is then doubled up, twisted, and stretched diagonally. The tension that is created in that X formation adds extra strength and stability in either direction down the fence row. For our Constitution, we the people represent the extra strength our Constitution needs to be supported, stabilized, and maintained. Patrick Henry stated, "Guard with jealous attention the public liberty. Suspect everyone that approaches that jewel." Our Constitution is one of the most important protective barriers ever created to defend liberty. It is a fence to keep tyranny and big government contained and rights and liberties and a republic of, by, and for the people free. By creating our Constitution, our founding fathers created protection for both liberty and equality, the two main founding ideals of this nation. Our Constitution even allows for the people to manage their government directly, and more importantly, in a republic, indirectly. Our form of government was meant to be managed by the people through their representatives. The United States of America is the most successful republic in the history of the world, and this is because of the constitutional fences that allow the people to make concise, informed decisions and then implement them through an elected legislature. According to our Constitution, most of the powers to keep tyranny contained are vested in the states. The very few powers given to the federal government are the ability to create laws, to regulate foreign trade and treaties, to create currency, to regulate interstate commerce, to establish post offices, to raise and direct the military in defense of the nation, and to litigate affairs of national interest. Other than that, all other powers are given to the states so that they can maintain their respective open properties and see to the personal and local affairs of the citizens. Lately, our federal government has jumped their fence and has been trampling the people's private yards and gardens, their rights and liberties throughout the nation. For instance, our past couple of presidents have grown accustomed to bypassing the power of Congress by issuing executive orders or signing statements. They've also created positions of power held by unelected bureaucrats, be they department heads or czars, that can bypass our three-level of government system by issuing regulations that do not need to be approved by Congress. Cases such as Roe versus Wade have shown how the judicial branch has jumped their fence and trampled state and local jurisdictions by making personal and moral decisions a federal matter. As far as the legislative branch, we have seen them manufacture their own fence and try and contain the rights of the citizens by creating controversial legislation and then defending it with statements like that from our former Speaker of the House. We must first pass this bill to see what's in it. Citizens can maintain the fences around the executive herd by voting and with the help of their representatives' impeachment. The same is true of the legislative herd, which is controlled through voting and recall elections. The judicial herd is managed indirectly by manipulating the executive and legislative herds. Every citizen must do their homework to elect principled men and women to the office of president and representative. Men and women who understand our constitutional fences and will not try and overstep those boundaries. Every step we take away from our Constitution is one step closer to tyranny. The people of this nation must never forget that they hold the power, not the elected public servants. Truly, the citizens of this nation need to realize that because of how our Constitution structures our republic, we the people are like a fence, because we surround them and they do not surround us. As such, it is the responsibility of every citizen to support the legislative process, to elect virtuous representatives, and to guide the decisions for the future of this nation. Those actions limit the power of those who govern us. We can also maintain constitutional fences by simply studying and understanding the Constitution itself. Without a firm grasp on our founding document, how do we expect to defend the fences of liberty? This nation's first president, Mr. George Washington, noted, "A primary object should be the education of our young people in the science of government." In a republic, what species of knowledge can be equally important, and what duty more pressing than communicating it to those who are to be the future guardians of the liberties of this country? The fences given to us by our founding fathers are the most important protective barrier given to us by our Constitution. To maintain those fences, the people of this nation must support the legislative process, understand our constitutional form of government, and educate the American youth in the blessings, freedoms, and responsibilities given to us by our Constitution. Just like the fences on my grandfather's ranch, the fences of this beautiful republic require dedicated upkeep and maintenance. Contemplate Thomas Jefferson's famous quote, "The price of freedom is eternal vigilance." If our liberties go unprotected, then we will fall, like the ancient Republic of Rome. And our founding fathers put too much blood and effort into forging this great nation. Thomas Paine said, "Freedom had been hunted round the globe. Reason was considered as rebellion, and the slavery of fear had made men afraid to think. But such is the irresistible nature of truth that all it asks and that all it wants is the liberty of appearing." Let us always work to maintain the constitutional fences that keep tyranny in check and liberty roaming free. Thank you.